Do you think there is an upper limit to human aging?
It's not even a question. Let me explain. I thought that wasn't fair, to have consciousness and to know that we were going to be sick and die and watch everyone else die. I was inspired by my grandmother, who told me that humans can do better. My PhD supervisor said, "Why would you go study aging? It's not even a real science." And thank goodness I didn't listen to him. Aging isn't just damage to the body like we wear out. It's actually a loss of information. There will be a day, I believe, where you'll be able to rejuvenate your brain and get back memories, get your ability to learn again. Well, I'm no longer talking about slowing aging. I'm talking about true age reversal. Multiple times there's a backup copy of information in every cell. And that fact that there is a backup copy changes everything. There is no law that says we must age. Remember that.
Meet Dr. David Sinclair, a renowned biologist and professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, and his groundbreaking work in the field of age reversal. Imagine a world where aging is no longer a given, where the decline in physical and mental faculties that comes with growing older is a thing of the past. This might sound like science fiction, but recent scientific breakthroughs suggest it could soon be a reality. Today, we'll explore the scientific breakthroughs leading up to this revelation, how Sinclair's team has managed to reverse cellular aging, and what this could mean for the future. First, take a look at David Sinclair's TEDx talk in 2013, where he discusses a cure for aging. Then, compare it to his interview with NBC News in 2023. Notice how much younger he looks in 2023. How did he achieve that? Stick around until the end of this video, where I'll reveal the foods David eats, his exercise routine, and the supplements he takes. Now, let's get back to David Sinclair's research about aging. Aging is fundamentally the result of cellular and molecular damage over time. Our cells accumulate mutations, their ability to repair DNA diminishes, and critical structures within the cells degrade. Traditionally, this process has been considered irreversible. However, recent advancements suggest otherwise. So, how did Dr. Sinclair and his team achieve this seemingly impossible feat? It all starts with understanding the mechanisms of cellular aging and reprogramming. At the core of Sinclair's research is epigenetics, the study of changes in gene expression that do not involve alterations to the underlying DNA sequence. Think of your genes as the hardware of a computer, and the epigenome as the software that tells the hardware what to do. Over time, this software becomes corrupted, leading to the signs of aging. Take a look at his interview with NBC News in 2023.
Harvard scientist David Sinclair has spent the last 20 years working to defy aging.
How many times have you heard, if you're over the age of 40, well, you're getting sick, you're getting this pain, your eyesight's degrading. Don't worry, that's just normal aging. I really don't agree with that approach.
Sinclair believes the root cause of aging and health decline stems from damage to the so-called epigenome, the part of our cells that turn genes on or off.
Our bodies have two different types of information. We all know about the DNA. Now, there's another type of information that most people don't know about. It's called the epigenome, and it's the reader of the DNA. Like, if you have a compact disc, it's like scratches on the compact disc, so you can't read the music. As we get older, we lose the ability to read our DNA correctly.
And so how do we get those scratches off?
We had this breakthrough a couple of years ago, so we found that there was a way to get the scratches off and reverse the age of cells.
In his study, Sinclair restored optic nerve cells and sight in mice with vision loss from both aging and a condition that simulated glaucoma.
The way we did that in the mice, and we cured blindness with them, was to turn on 3 genes that are normally on in embryos. And when we turn those 3 genes back on in the adult tissue, the mice regenerate and they get their vision back.
And now, in what the researchers are calling the first study of its kind, Sinclair and his team were able to age the mice and then make them younger again. In this video shared by Harvard, these mice are the same age, yet one is visibly older. How did they do it? By literally breaking up the DNA, forcing the body to repair itself, which he says accelerates aging.
The mice actually do not just look old, but they literally are older by about 50%. They get gray hair, they get wrinkled skin, their organs are old.
The results were shared at a conference earlier this year and are under review for publication. This groundbreaking technology builds on the Nobel Prize-winning work of Japanese scientist Shinya Yamanaka, who discovered how cells can be reprogrammed to be stem cells, which then can develop into cells of any type in the body. Using this method, Sinclair showed me how his team is trying to study memory loss by turning skin cells into tiny brains.
Here they are, these little beauties. So these are mini human brains we've grown for a number of months. And these ones have been aged so that they're 70 years old. And we can measure their activity. And their brain activity is slowing down as they get older. They're full of inflammation like a normal old brain would be. And in this experiment, we're now testing, can we reverse the age of those brains so they work again? And the answer is, yeah, we can do that.
In early experiments, his team says they are using electrodes to measure activity in cells from the brain.
As those get older, they fire less. And then we can reverse that and get them to work again.
And so you've seen that by reversing it, they start firing more.
That's right. Yeah, we can make them young again and work like they used to.
While much more research is needed, Sinclair hopes that one day, reversing aging could be as simple as a pill at the doctor's office.
So, could we soon have a pill that reverses aging? Could these pills be produced on a large scale, making the technology accessible to the public in the not-too-distant future? Here is what David said.
Maybe once a year you go get a prescription for your doctor, you take it for a week, and it reverses your aging. Is that your vision here?
Well, it's not just a vision, it's going to happen. It's like asking the Wright brothers, are we going to fly? Well, of course we are. It's just a question of when.
So, you heard what David Sinclair said. The age reversal pill will be coming soon. It is the matter of when. Despite the immense potential of David Sinclair's research, more human studies are needed to confirm these findings. In the meantime, as you saw earlier at the beginning of this video, David looks younger in his 50s than he did in his 40s. So how did he do that? Let's explore the foods David eats, his exercise routine, and the supplements he takes. First, his diet is plant-based, focusing on nutrient-dense foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and berries. He avoids sugar and processed foods, opting instead for whole organic options. He also includes plenty of healthy fats from sources like avocados and olive oil. Listen to what he said.
That a plant-based diet is, in the long run, really, really the best one to be on. Short term, what you can do if you want to eat a lot of meat, and I like meat, so I wish meat was super healthy. It just turns out it isn't. But in the short run, you're putting your body in this state of abundance, right? Remember, you got abundance versus adversity. A lot of meat and fat will give you this abundance, so you'll feel good short term, and you'll probably grow muscle better. But long term, it's not, because you want to be in this adversity mimic state. So practically speaking, I've been looking at a number of foods that protect against cancer. There's really strong results there. If you take the blood of people who've been on a plant-based diet and put it on cancer cells, it can 4,000% more kill those cancer cells than someone who eats a meat-based diet. So those are really compelling. And those that are on vegan, vegetarian, and pescatarian diets, in general, live longer and are protected from about 15 different major diseases. I mean, the science is there. It's not really an argument at this point. So what I've been doing personally is I've been eating a lot more nuts, vegetables. My fridge is now full of plant-based foods. And the shock to me was how easy it was. I basically in one day said, okay, I'm not eating meat anymore, and I haven't for the most part. I mean, maybe a couple of times socially. And that's important to note. I'm not as 100% strict. Occasionally I'll break it for reasons, that I'm human and I don't mind. It's not going to hurt me. But overall, most of my food now is vegetable.
David Sinclair also practices intermittent fasting, typically skipping breakfast and eating within a 6-8 hour window later in the day. This approach has been shown to activate sirtuins and promote cellular health.
So is this your first meal of the day? It's now almost 6 o'clock?
It will be, yeah.
Really? You have no breakfast, no lunch?
No.
Because
Well, because it's clear, based on thousands of years of human existence, that eating less is, if it's not starvation or malnutrition, it's good for you.
because why? What does
Well,
it do?
so we didn't know why it was good for you. We thought that it was slowing down metabolism, but it's not the case. What's happening is it's turning on, when I'm not eating, or if you choose not to eat for a meal or two, you're turning on the body's defenses against aging.
In our labs, we always have caloric restricted animal. Okay,
Yeah.
you take brothers, two groups, one eat whatever they want, the other gets 60% of that. And they
Okay.
live 40% longer and healthier. And people, and we know it since the 1950s, but people assumed that means that you give less for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You just eat less throughout the day
Right.
as opposed to, but that's not what it is though, right?
No. If we actually are giving them all the food throughout the day, they're thinner, but they don't live longer. So you need the fasting to upregulate the mechanism for aging.
Well, the trick to longevity is a term called hormesis, which is a little bit of stress on your body, biological stress. So running, bit of hunger, cold, heat, puts your body in a state of perceived adversity. So you don't have to hurt yourself, but you put your body in a kind of a scared state. Oh my goodness, I could die if this continues. And then they turn on these defenses against aging. So we have these genes that get turned on. Some of them that we work on are called sirtuins. And so by being hungry, we've shown that you turn these on and then your body defends itself. If you sit around and you eat constantly, they don't work very hard.
Really?
And your clock ticks
In terms
down.
of exercise, here is what David said.
So talking about exercise, your exercise prescription for longevity seems like quite a low dose of movement to me. It's like 10 minutes out of breath a couple of times a week. Is that a minimum effective dose or an optimal one?
Minimal.
Okay. Have you got any idea what an optimal one would be?
No one does. But it's somewhere between running 10 minutes 3 times a week on a treadmill and running 20 miles a week, something like that. And there's a lot of studies, so it's really hard to say which is the optimum. And there are different types of exercise. There's running, there's cycling.
Finally, here are the supplement and drug stack that David takes. They include NMN, resveratrol, metformin, spermidine, quercetin, fisetin. He also includes vitamin D, vitamin K2, and omega-3 fatty acids to support overall health.
I've been taking tests for my age for over a decade, and every year over the past decade, I've been getting younger, according to this test. And actually, it might be right. If you look at my old photos, I think I look older than I do now. You can be the judge. But you can see in this graph here, where I sit is here, the youngest of about 10,000 people that have been measured my age. So I'm telling you, science works. If you measure, change, you can go back, like I did, biologically by at least a decade.
There you have it, folks. A deep dive into Dr. David Sinclair's groundbreaking research on aging, his personal lifestyle choices, and some practical tips on how you can start turning back the clock today. Remember, while these steps are promising, it's always important to consult with healthcare professionals before making significant changes to your lifestyle or diet. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay healthy, stay young. Thanks for watching.